how much is it about power and how much about kindness in the movie?
Yeah, I think that you hit the mark. I think that that's exactly what happens in this movie. There's it's a battle between power and kindness, and humanity versus machine versus technology. Like it's all these like agendas that we have as humans, and I feel like it connects with us, right? We all desire to be really good people and be mindful of others, but at the same time, we do get taken over by the technology, and it has a mind of its own. And I think that's where I felt very connected with the script, because you have all these characters that layer that, for Maya and for Damien's character, technology is the future, and that's the way we survive as a community, as mankind and humanity. So they truly believe it. Are they villains? No, I think that they just want the best for humanity, and they don't really care about the Titans. And I think we've seen that over and over again in society. So it's like a very interesting way to approach society with a different, with a sci-fi mentality with it.
Are you a comics fan?
Huge. I grew up
Yeah.
I'm huge because my brother is way old. Well, he hates me probably for saying that, but he's older than me. So I grew up with all his hand downs. So like everything that he had, I would just keep. So he had a lot of comic books, and I grew up reading a lot of comic books, and it was more 80s, 90s. And I still have been a very big comic book nerd. There's 3 stores that I love in LA, and I have friends that I nerd about and geek about comic books. I know that sounds like, oh, girl, trying to be cool, but I do. And I think it's just because of growing up with it and just having it in my house for so long. I'm a 90s baby, so I didn't have like the technology that kids have now. That was our way of entertaining ourselves.
Well, that's an interesting question. I think that I think ultimately it's about kindness, isn't it? I think ultimately it's about not controlling and not trying to dominate things that you can't control and dominate, including nature as much as, animals. And I think that's an important one. And I think probably my character and Kaylee's character and that whole side of things and form a sort of family unit, which does concentrate much more on kindness than power, ultimately.
That's a good question, because I think Kong kind of represents a little bit of that kindness aspect that you're referencing. I mean, especially when it comes to his relationship with the hearing impaired girl. And that was always really important to me, is that the movie has a heart. That the monsters aren't just big hulking animals, that they really have personalities, and so to a certain degree it was always trying to find a heart through the creatures at all times, like that they do have distinctive personalities, and we can empathize and imprint on them however we want to.
Well, it's both. It's both. It's about the colossal power of Godzilla and Kong, and the colossal power of a multi-billionaire like Simmons, and it's the colossal power of love and understanding and kindness, that we see in the kids and in the doctor, played by Alex. It's about both. It's about that, power without kindness does not work.
Are you a comics fan?
I'm not a crazy comic fan, but I grew up watching these films, so I always wanted to be a part of one of them, And I remember when I saw Naomi Watts in one of those Kong films, I was really overwhelmed on how real the creature looked, and just the fact that they can recreate that. It's just beautiful, you can. I just love to watch it.